Okay, today's story. Now, today's story, friends, is a very deep story. I actually was in two minds whether to, don't mind sharing it, but it goes on the internet. But as you can see at the start, I will share it. Time of the Alter Rebbe, so the government decreed to drive out, to expel many Yidden from the villages to the forests, where they would be in the wilderness, without panasa, without anything. And this was leveled at the Jews of Poland, as we will see. So the Alter Rebbe is traveling throughout the length and breadth of the country to collect money to help these unfortunate mishpachas, and for the purpose of bribing the ministers in order to lighten the decree. In his travels, he came as far as the region of Volyn, as opposed to where he was, which is Rysen, like White Russia. So he came there near the city of Tolchin. Who lived in Tolchin? None other than Rabbi, the grandson of the Baal Shem Tov, we mentioned the other day, who was a great tzaddik, but differed with the Alter Rebbe very strongly on the Gili of Chassidus. He remained faithful to the revelation of Chassidus as the Baal Shem Tov taught it, as we learned in the Maimer. However, even Chassidus did revolution, but he remained there. And with the publication of Tanya, the dissemination, bringing down the understanding of Elikus into Seichel to that degree, he was opposed. If I'm not mistaken, I need to look this up, I think he was also strongly different with the Alter Rebbe with respect to how to deal with the Misnagdim. He wanted to excommunicate them. Alter Rebbe would have nothing of it, and the plan was aborted. At any rate, so the Alter Rebbe now arrived to his region, and he went to Tolchin to see Rabbi Baruch, as he was called. Rabbi Baruch received the Alter Rebbe with great kavod, and amongst other things, he said to him, "Why have you come to my territory?" He meant, I'm suggesting that, I have my shitta, and that's it. Why are you coming here? The Alter Rebbe answered him, Kil Hashem waratzim loya. The whole world belongs to the Eibishter. It's a very deep answer. We're not just talking here simple territorial dispute here. It means in Ruchnis in Yanim. Perhaps the Alter Rebbe, by saying Hashem waratzim loya, is saying, I'm just suggesting an explanation here. He's saying, I'm faithful to the shit of the Baal Shem Tov. What are you coming here with a shit of Chabad? And he answers, the whole world is Hashem's, which means that the whole world has to be suffused, the Tachtim, even Seichel, with Elikus. That maybe I'm just suggesting an explanation of this dialogue here. And the second Alter Rebbe said to him, I cannot bear the pain of these poor, unfortunate Eden that are going to be driven out from their places. And I'm gathering money, as we said, for bribery, etc. So Rabbi Baruch says to him, you don't have to do that. You can sweeten these dinim, these ultimately heavenly decrees, by passing your head over your forehead. Without going to, this is a common thing at tzaddik. By passing his hand over his forehead, can affect, transform, and nullify and transform decrees. So what do you need money for? Why are you going into such great effort collecting these sums of money? Respond to the Alter Rebbe. Yaakov Avinu could also certainly sweeten the dinim that way. And nonetheless, what did he do? He sent gifts to Esav and sought to appease him, etc. And didn't rely on passing the hand over the forehead. But Baruch Hu says to him, but all you need to do is teach the meaning or the echad. I'm just going to say the story says, the echad of my Zayda, the Baal Shem Tov, and that will sweeten all the dinim. And here's where the story gets very profound. And so hear what he said? You'll teach the echad of the Zayda, the Baal Shem Tov, and that will sweeten it all. So the Alter Rebbe said, because of the echad of the Baal Shem Tov, that's why there's a decree. Shocking words. What did he mean? He went on to say, he said, after the Jews were exiled from Spain, none of the countries of Europe wanted to take them. And the reason was because every country has a sar, a minister, an angel in heaven. And none of the Sorim Lamaila wanted to accept the Yidden because they said, when the Jews will come to a country, so they're going to build Bati Midrashes and Bati Knisiyos, Yeshivas and Shuls, Alon and Daven, and they'll say Hashem Echad. And by doing so, they will completely nullify us, like darkness is nullified and banished in the face of light. And if we don't want them. But the Tsar of Poland said, I'll take them. This is what he said. He said, I'm not afraid of the Jews. On the contrary, I will actually be able to siphon nourishment from the Yidden. They'll do business, but they'll be dishonest. They'll make yeshivas, but they won't learn Torah for the sake of Torah, but for their own self-aggrandizement. They'll build shuls, and they'll daven and say Shema, and they'll say Echad, but they won't mean it truly, and they'll behave contrary to Echad. So I'm going to be the big winner from all of this corrupted Kedusha, as Klippa can only exist, siphoning of Kedusha. So from the corruption of Kedusha, I'll be engorged by it, and I will be, on the contrary, I will receive sustenance. Like a parasite, or like bacteria feeds off unhealthy life. So therefore, that's why the king of Poland allowed the Jews to come to Poland. He had to be bribed for it. What did they do? He says they gave him a Cossack with a spear on a horse. This may be a statue that they made. I don't know. Yeah, it looks like a statue. And likewise, a big pile of silver they gave him, and he was bribed, and the Jews settled in Poland. That's in fact Poland, Germany, certainly Poland was the first place Jews settled after the expulsion of Spain. And so it was, says the Alter Rebbe. They came to Poland. They built shuls, they built Bati Midrashim, they learned, they davened, and they said Krishma, but it was missing. But then came Yoseidah, the Baal Shem Tov, and he taught Eden the true meaning of Echad, a whole new meaning of Echad. Till then, Echad, God is one man, there's one God and not two. But there's also me. Now the Baal Shem Tov taught, Hashem Echad means there's one God and nothing else. And everything else is merely the consequence of his will. So now that he brought these teachings to Poland, the heavenly Sar, the Maila says, hey, this was not the deal. Because he only agreed for the old Echad, not the new Echad that the Baal Shem Tov is teaching. And that I want them at me anymore, and that's why the expulsion. And therefore down here came the expulsion, and that's why, because of the Echad of the Baal Shem Tov, I have to go and collect money to appease the authorities that Jews should not be expelled. As I mentioned, it's a very deep story. It really goes to the core of the whole kavanah of creation. The story goes also with the Alter Rebbe, and I have to remember who the Alter Rebbe was. It could have been the Baditchev or the Baruch maybe. Another exchange, because it is known that Baruch Hu was tried very hard to bring Mashiach through his supernal ways. Till the end, the story goes that Hashem came to him in a dream and told him to stop. But at any rate, how did he want to do it? He wanted to do it through supernatural means. So the story goes, he said, or whoever it was, that if I would run the world, maybe it was the Badicheva, I would do it differently. Obviously, it would eliminate suffering and pain and so on. And the Alter Rebbe said, and if I did, I would do it exactly the way it's happening. Because the kavanah of the Eibishter is he wants it darker. Is dafke dire betachtonim. So the Baal Shem Tov came along and taught Hashem Echad. Hashem Echad means everything. So that has to mean including nature and Teva and the world down to its nethermost level. So the Baruch Hu wants to resort to burning the world through a revelation of Elikus that would nullify the world. The Alter Rebbe says we could do that, but that's not what Hashem wants. Hashem wants that we reveal His presence, dafke in Teva and dafke in nature. Therefore, the Alter Rebbe has to do what he has to do, and he's telling him that this is really what Yazayda is saying. The true meaning of Hashem Echad is dafke what? To embrace even Teva and the Gzeidus and turn these Gzeidus and this Choshech into light. The true Dida B'Tachtonim. But as we said before, Genug, with the darkness has reached its apex, certainly now in the crazy times that we live. Now at Mosai, we have to call out to the Eibishter, and Kavayochel demand of him, that's what he wants to hear from us. Enough. Yidden have already revealed the depth of their neshama. They've touched you at the depth. They've elevated all the sparks. We're ready. We're ready for the full and complete revelation of the Etzem Evelikus, the Etzem HaChochma, V'nismecha Boy. We'll rejoice in him, Boy Batzmusay, in his very essence.
Amen. Shkaya.
Quite a story, eh?
Yeah.
Magnificent story, Rabbi.
Yeah, multi-layered. Okay, my friends, I've actually davened, so I'm going to keep it going. And who is here to lead us? I don't see you, Miyoho. Maybe because we're early. What time is it? It's a little bit before 8:45. Okay. Moishe Kreisman joined us. Shalom Aleichem.
Aleichem Shalom. Thank you.
Welcome. You're welcome also to the Chassidus before. Maybe you were on. I don't know.
I was on a bit. I'm going to have to tune in earlier.
Yeah, 8:00 it starts. Okay. Be'ezer Hashem.
Thanks.
Okay, so Adam, you davened already, yeah? Yes? Adam. Have you davened? His name is Yankee. Have you davened?
I didn't daven. I just need to say karbanis, and then I can start.
Okay, perfect. Perfect. Okay, shkoyach.
Everyone better daven well because it's recording.